speaking to, say you're speaking to your students, and I know how many students you have. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of students. What would be, I know this might be a bit of a strange question, but what would be the first thing you would ask them to observe about poetry?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing I would ask them to do is read poetry. Number one, read lots of poems. If you're going to write poems, read lots of poems. But then go back and slow read the poem to find out how, why, and where certain things happen in the lines that you're reading. There's something there that the poet, whether they intend it or not, poets are in their right mind when they write poetry, except for Coleridge. So, so when you read the verses, go back and slow read. I know we are all into fast reading and speed reading. That's right. But when we slow read this, we begin to read the poem like a poet. That's what happens. And then when we go and try to write our own poem, we learn the techniques of writing our own poem. Watch out for, and this is old tuition, watch out for phrases that tell versus phrases that show. See how many picture scenes are there in the poem. So those are the techniques. But then there is something else as well. And I think that comes out of who we are. The kind of poetry we write depends on who we are. So our poem is who we are. And so it is important, I think, to go into that realm. Sharidi talks about vibrations and the power of words in the body. And others may talk about these same ideas in different ways. So what philosophy sways you? Is it a world of anything goes versus no, this is something I understand is the right thing and therefore I pursue it? And as we keep doing that, our character is shaped in a particular way and our character begins to show through our poems. This does not mean that our poems show only good things. I just said character, and character can have bad and good aspects to it. But that comes through the poetry, and that's a good thing. So that shapes the content. So earlier on we mentioned the form, the techniques that we learn from poets. But this long-term reshaping of our character, I think, shapes the content of our poetry. I think that's what I would present.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty insightful right there.